We often speak in wonder of Nostradamus. We quote the predictions of Baba Vanga, and we look to the west for the glimpses of the future. But long before them, India had already birthed a prophet, a mystic who didn't just predict the fall of kings or changing empires. He foresaw the shaking of the entire world. He spoke of a time when the earth would tremble in devastating wars, when humanity would drift far from its soul, when fake spiritual gurus would rise in the name of God, selling wisdom for money, and when, from the silence of the sacred hills, the return of Siddhar Bhogar would awaken the ancient flame of real wisdom once more. This was Siddhar Korakkar or Gorakhnath, a seer unlike any other, born not from a womb but from ashes and grace, a healer, a poet, a master of Siddhis, and the one who penned the Chandra Regai, a mystical map of what was, what is, and what is yet to come. In our Siddhar series, today we journey through the inspiring life of Siddhar Korakkar, one of the revered 18 Siddhars, and in another stream of thought, one among the Navanada Siddhars, the 9 divine mystics of the Nada Sampradaya. If this is your first time here, we invite you to explore the lives of other great Siddhars as well. You'll find the complete playlist linked in the description below, because each Siddhar isn't just history, they are the living flames waiting to be remembered. Our story begins with another great mystic, Siddhar Machamuni, also known as Matsyendranath, a being directly initiated by Lord Shiva himself. We'll explore his story in another video, so make sure to subscribe and stay connected. So Machamuni Siddhar once stood at the doorway of a humble home seeking alms. A devout woman stepped out and respectfully placed food in his bowl. These great yogis never begged for survival. They sought alms as a sacred means to stay detached and to quietly observe and uplift those who carried unseen sorrow. This woman's face revealed her pain. With compassion in his eyes, Siddhar Machamuni asked her what troubled her heart. With folded hands, her voice trembling, she said, "For many years I've longed for a child, but my prayers remain unanswered." The Siddhar, moved by her yearning, closed his eyes and silently chanted mantras. Then he took a pinch of sacred vibhuti, the holy ash, and offered it to her. "Take this," he said. "A divine child shall soon enter your life." He said and left. But fate took a darker turn. A neighbor watching from the shadows mocked her with doubt. "Don't trust these wandering signs. That ash is no blessing. It's trickery. I've even heard they steal those who consume their magic," she said. Sadly, the woman gave in to fear, so she mixed the sacred ash with the soot from her kitchen stove and then threw it into the waste ash heap. Years passed. Then one day, Machamuni Siddhar returned to that very home and asked gently, "Where is your son? I came to see him." The woman fell at his feet, tears pouring down. "Swami, I was foolish. I threw the ash away, believing those terrible words." The Siddhar remained calm. He asked, "Show me exactly where you threw it." They walked to the ash mound. Standing before it, Siddhar Machamuni closed his eyes and called out with divine authority, "Come forth, O Korakka." To everyone's astonishment, from within that very mound, a child arose, glowing, silent, unmoved by the world. A child not born but revealed. That radiant soul was Siddhar Korakkar, revered in the north as Gorakhnath. From that moment, the young Korakkar had no desire for worldly life. He bowed to his mother, sought her blessings, and chose to follow his guru into the path of yogic fire and eternal truth. Korakkar wasn't merely a miracle, he became a master. He learned many spiritual wisdom from his guru Machamuni. He also received the knowledge of Siddha medicine from the great Siddhar Agastya. And together with Siddhar Bhogar, Korakkar helped unlock the sacred mystery of the Chidambara Rahasyam, the secret of the space that is not empty but divine. If you wish to dive deeper into this profound secret, we have created a separate video just for that. Do check the link in the description. But in a remarkable twist of fate, Korakkar would one day become the light that brought his own guru back to the path. For a time, Machamuni Siddhar moved away from the yogic path, lost in the web of worldly life. He had settled into marriage with a princess in Kerala, forgetting his divine essence. But destiny intervened again. When Korakkar discovered his guru's whereabouts, he entered the palace in disguise to quietly remind his guru about the spiritual path. He chose to remain there, serving his guru in silence, waiting for that right moment to rekindle the fire of tapas. What followed were events both astonishing and divine. In one dramatic moment, a tragic mistake occurred. Due to Korakkar's own negligence, Machamuni's only son lost his life. But in a display of unimaginable siddhi, he brought the child back to life. Realizing the divine potential of his own disciple, Machamuni Siddhar left behind his royal life and rejoined Korakkar on the spiritual path. Yet, their journey together ended abruptly. When Machamuni's wife offered a bundle of gold as a token, she said, to use in times of need, Korakkar, believing it would anchor them in attachment, discarded the gift without his master's consent. This act caused a rift between guru and disciple, and they eventually parted ways. But deep within, Machamuni Siddhar knew he had not just mentored a seeker, he had witnessed the rise of a true Siddhar. Post that incident, Korakkar wandered across India, healing, teaching, meditating in sacred hills, caves, and forests. He is revered for his mastery in alchemy, Siddha medicine, yoga and tantra, spiritual poetry, and philosophy. Notably, he was the first to use cannabis, a Indian hemp, as a rejuvenative herb, not for indulgence but as a potent medicine for deep healing, rejuvenation, and longevity, which came to be known as Korakkar Mooligai in his honor. Siddhar Korakkar's wisdom lives on through sacred texts, many of which remain hidden or endangered. Some of his timeless creations are Korakkar Brahma Jnanam, insights into the absolute truth and liberation; Korakkar's Kali Jnanam 500, exploring the union of art, science, and spirituality; Korakkar's Karpasutiram, alchemical processes for physical and spiritual refinement; Korakkar's Malai Vakatam, a treasury of mountain herbs and medicine; and the famous Korakkar's Chandra Regai, a prophetic work. Chandra Regai contains Korakkar's predictions about future events and spiritual evolutions. These teachings highlight Siddhar Korakkar's profound understanding of the interplay between the physical and spiritual realms. His work continues to inspire and guide spiritual seekers on the path of self-realization. Some of the key predictions from Chandra Regai: Return of Siddhar Bhogar. Korakkar foretells that the revered Siddhar Bhogar will reincarnate during a period when humanity has lost its connection to the supreme consciousness. This return aims to rejuvenate spiritual wisdom and guide humanity back to the path of enlightenment. The rise of an immortal ruler. Korakkar speaks of an immortal ruler, a dharmic force who will rise from the south, not to conquer but to unify. A being of divine qualities, this ruler will bring balance, compassion, and truth to a fragmented world. Even more astonishing, he hints that this leader will join hands with a power from another country, and together they will establish a new way of global harmony. Kalki Avatar and the Age of Transformation. Korakkar's verses echo ancient prophecies that at the very end of Kali Yuga, when adharma has reached its peak, the Kalki Avatar, the 10th incarnation of Lord Vishnu, will appear. He will not come gently, but as a force to cleanse, to burn away falsehood, and to restore dharma. This will mark the transition into the age of truth, harmony, and divine order. Global turmoil as a catalyst for awakening. Siddhar Korakkar does not shy away from what lies ahead. His Chandra Regai speaks of natural disasters, moral collapse, and destructive wars, trials that will shake humanity to its core. But within these storms lies purpose. These events, he says, will become catalyst for collective spiritual awakening, thus pushing humanity to become more compassionate, introspective, and aligned with higher consciousness. Revival of true ancient wisdom. He warns of a troubling trend that in Kali Yuga, false gurus and spiritual masters will arise in great numbers. They will speak of enlightenment but act with greed, selling sacred knowledge for money and exploiting the vulnerable. This is very much relatable to current trends. So please be mindful while following a spiritual master. If someone demands money to give you the sacred wisdom, beware. The true path never needs a price tag. Yet, amidst this decay, Siddhar Korakkar assures us that there will be a resurgence of ancient wisdom, especially from the Siddhar tradition. True masters will rise once again, and their teachings will heal and guide the world. The dissolution of caste and religious barriers, and perhaps one of the most hopeful prophecies. Korakkar envisions a future where caste divisions, religious walls, and social hierarchies dissolve. He saw people living not as fragmented groups but as a unified human family beyond labels of caste, creed, or faith. The Chandra Regai is not a text of fear, it's a mirror of possibility, a reminder that darkness always precedes dawn, and that within chaos lies the seed of transformation. Siddhar Korakkar's Jeeva Samadhi is most prominently found in Vadakku Poigai near Nagapattinam, Tamil Nadu. It remains a serene sacred space for those who seek his silent blessings. Other sacred sites include Kolli Hills and Sadragiri Hills, where he meditated, and in the north, Gorakhnath Temple, Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh, and Vajreshwari in Maharashtra. These places holds his imprints, but not his limits. That said, we cannot confine a Siddhar to place or shrine. As our elders say, Siddhan Pokku Sivan Pokku. The ways of a Siddhar are like Shiva himself, beyond time, beyond space. Though we may trace their path, build temples over their samadhis, and recite their teachings, a Siddhar can appear anytime, anywhere, through a stranger, a silence, or even a sudden spark of wisdom in our hearts. So if the life of Siddhar Korakkar moved you, show your support by liking this video, sharing it with a fellow seeker, and subscribing to stay connected with the Sacred series. Tell us in the comments which prophecy or part of Korakkar's life resonated with you the most and why. In the coming weeks, we'll explore more hidden teachings of the Siddhars. Meanwhile, don't miss our playlist on Siddhar Tirumular's Timeless Wisdom, the Tirumandiram, linked in the description. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Until then, stay blessed and keep seeking.